Shabbat Shalom, everyone. I'm Rabbi Dan Pernick. Today is Friday, January the 29th, 2021, and we are here to celebrate Shabbat, as well as a very, very joyous, not so much a religious, but a Jewish kind of national holiday that actually took place yesterday. But we'll talk more about that in just a few moments. But like I said, it's the end of January. We are right in the middle of the Jewish month of Shabbat. And right in the middle of the month of Shvat, we have the beginning, believe it or not. It's very cold outside, but it is the beginning of spring in Israel. Yesterday, we celebrated Tu B'Shvat. Tu B'Shvat marks the 15th day of the month of Shvat, and it's kind of the unofficial beginning of spring in Israel. Actually, in the Talmud, it is known as the New Year for fruit trees. So a very joyous time, and we really start to look forward to the end of winter and the beginning of spring. Not so much in New York, but definitely in Israel. We also are coming to the end of the week. We take some time to give thanks to God for all of our blessings and to celebrate, to be joyous, and to have a good time. So please join me for the next 25-30 minutes or so as we do a little bit of singing, a little bit of talking, and we'll talk about all of that. We'll talk about the past, we'll talk about the future, but for now, we're going to sing. Bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam, bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat 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 shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Now, we're going to sing two more songs before we kindle the Sabbath light. And the first one is a short one. It has 5 words in it. Ma Yafeh Hayom. Ma Yafeh Hayom. That means what a beautiful day it is today. And then the last 2 words are words you're going to hear a lot during our service. Shabbat Shalom, meaning a peaceful Sabbath. Ma Yafeh Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Ma Yafeh Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Ma Yafeh Hayom. Shabbat, Shalom. Ma Yafeh Hayom. Shabbat Shalom. Now the next song has a lot more words, but especially if you're Jewish, I think you'll recognize the melody. It's a very traditional melody for the welcoming of the Sabbath. It's called Shalom Aleichem, which means peace unto you. And it is a song which welcomes the angels who, according to Jewish tradition, help to bring in the Sabbath, and then it wishes them well as they depart at the end of Shabbat, at the end of the Sabbath, which would be after sundown on Saturday, tomorrow. Here we go. Shalom Aleichem. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem leshalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Barchuni leshalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzeitchem leshalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And now we kindle the two lights to welcome Shabbat, and we recite the blessing which Jews have been saying for thousands of years to welcome Shabbat. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. Blessed are you, Lord our God, ruler of the universe. You have sanctified us with your commandments, and you have commanded us to kindle the Sabbath light. And together we say, Amen. I'm going to put these in a safe place right over here. Now, I'm going to do something a little bit different this week. And this is really more traditional. A lot of times when I was with many of you in person, we would do the blessing over the grape juice at the end of the service, and then we'd usually have a little bit of challah as well. Well, of course, we haven't been able to be together for about 10 months now, but traditionally on Friday night, right after we do the candles, we do the blessing over either the wine or, in the case tonight, the grape juice. So we're going to do the blessing right now, and it's really in its more traditional time. Pour some of this here. The idea of grape juice or grape wine as being sacramental, being very special in terms of making blessings, more special than anything else, goes way, way back to biblical times. So we say the words of the blessing together. In English, they are, Blessed are you, Lord our God, ruler of the universe, the creator of the fruit of the vine. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Borei peri hagafen. Amen. L'chaim. Very good. And now we're going to go on with a little bit of singing. On Shabbat, we really want to have kavanah. We want to have intent behind our prayers. We want to really mean it. We don't want to just say the words. And that's what this next song is all about, having that Shabbat feeling. I've got that Shabbat feeling deep in my heart, deep in my heart, deep in my heart. I've got that Shabbat feeling deep in my heart today. I've got that Shabbat feeling up in my head, up in my head, up in my head. I've got that Shabbat feeling up in my head today. I've got that Shabbat feeling down in my toes, down in my toes, down in my toes. I've got that Shabbat feeling down in my toes today. I've got that Shabbat feeling all over me, all over me, all over me. I've got that Shabbat feeling all over me today. Bump, bump. So in the Jewish religion, we of course believe that there is one God. In just a few moments, we'll be singing the words that proclaim the oneness of God. But we also believe that that one God is all-powerful and all-knowing and all over the place, that God is everywhere. And that's what this next song is about. God is here, God is there, God is truly everywhere. God is here, God is there, God is truly everywhere. Up, up, down, down, right, left, and all around. Here, there, and everywhere, that's where God can be found. Up, up, down, down, right, left, and all around. Here, there, and everywhere, that's where God can be found. Now on Shabbat, we are supposed to be happy because this is the special day. This is more special than any other day of the week. And for one thing, it's the day that God rested after creating the world for 6 days. It's a time we kind of take a look back at our week. And if we weren't really happy with it, well, we try to figure out what we can do to make the next week a better week, right? We want to improve ourselves, improve our lives, and also improve the lives of the people around us. It's not just about us. It's about how we can make life better for others. Because you know what? A lot of times when we make life better for other people, they want to make life better for us, right? And it works that way. If we only think about ourselves, well, then other people are more likely to think about themselves, and nobody's doing anything to help anyone else. And that's not so good. All right? So we want to be happy, and that's what this next song is all about. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, and you really want to show it, if you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, stomp your feet. If you're happy and you know it, stomp your feet. If you're happy and you know it, and you really want to show it, if you're happy and you know it, stomp your feet. If you're happy and you know it, shout hooray, hooray. If you're happy and you know it, shout hooray, hooray. If you're happy and you know it, and you really want to show it, if you're happy and you know it, shout hooray, hooray. If you're happy and you know it, do all three. Hooray. If you're happy and you know it, do all three. Clap, clap, stomp, stomp, hooray. If you're happy and you know it, and you really want to show it, if you're happy and you know it, do all three. Hooray. Okay. So as I just said a short time ago, every morning in Judaism, we recite the words that in English mean, "Hear, O Israel, listen, O Jewish people. The Lord is our God, the Lord is one." We call that the Shema, which means hear, as in listen. Okay? Some people call it the Shema Yisrael, after the first two words, "Hear, O Israel." But we recite these words every evening and every morning, when we lie down and when we rise up. And we're going to do it right now. The second line says, "Blessed is God's glorious kingdom forever and ever." Important words, but they're not the words from the Bible, like the first line is. So we sing, Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem, Kivod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed. Okay. Now we're going to go on to a happy song, but not one that we have sung before. Maybe not since last year, if that. And this is a song that really has to do with the holiday of Tu B'Shvat. Like I said, it's not so much a religious holiday, but it's kind of a national holiday celebrating the beginning of springtime in the land of Israel. And the song that we're going to sing right now, there are a lot of different songs for Tu B'Shvat, a holiday when school children in Israel are dismissed from school. Of course, this year I don't know how many of them are actually physically in school, but they go out and they plant trees, thousands and thousands of trees, all around the country of Israel. So this song is called Atzei Zeitim Omdim. That's the whole song. Atzei Zeitim Omdim. And then there are a lot of la 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 la's. So what does that mean? Atzei means trees, Zeitim means olive, and Omdim means standing. Olive trees are standing. The olive tree is one of the main trees that is grown in Israel. You see them all over the place, all right? We don't see as many olive trees in America, but in Israel you see them all over the place. So this is a fun song. A lot of times we do a little dancing around while we're doing this, but we'll just do a little bit of singing, okay, and have a little bit of fun. All right, here we go. If you want to do a little, boogieing to the song, that's fine too. Here we go. A lot of repetition in the song. Atzei Zeitim Omdim, Atzei Zeitim Omdim, Atzei Zeitim Omdim, Atzei Zeitim Omdim. La 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 la. Atzei Zeitim Omdim, ya la 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 la. Atzei Zeitim Omdim, Atzei Zeitim Omdim, Atzei Zeitim Omdim. La 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Atzei Zeitim Omdim, ya la 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 la. Atzei Zeitim Omdim, Atzei Zeitim Omdim, Atzei Zeitim Omdim, Atzei Zeitim Omdim, Atzei Zeitim Omdim. Okay, that's just a fun little song for Tu B'Shvat, and we're going to move to another very happy song, not a Tu B'Shvat song, not even a Shabbat song, but definitely a well-known Jewish song, which says, "Come, let's rejoice and be happy, and see brothers, see people, see our friends, our neighbors, with a very happy heart." And the song is called Hava Nagila. Hava Nagila, Hava Nagila, Hava Nagila v'nismecha. Hava Nagila, Hava Nagila, Hava Nagila v'nismecha. Hava neranana, Hava neranana, Hava neranana v'nismecha. Hava neranana, Hava neranana, Hava neranana v'nismecha. Uru, uru achim, uru achim, b'lev sameach, uru achim, b'lev sameach, uru achim, b'lev sameach, uru achim, b'lev sameach, uru achim, uru achim. B'lev sameach. Okay. And we're going to conclude this part of our program today with a prayer for peace. It's called Oseh Shalom. It is part of several different prayers in the Jewish religion. And the words ask God to bring peace to us, to our people, and we add to all the good people in the world. We hope that there will be peace. Oseh Shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru, imru Amen. Yahaseh shalom. Yahaseh shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yahaseh shalom. Yahaseh shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yahaseh shalom. Yahaseh shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yahaseh shalom. Yahaseh shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yahaseh shalom. Yahaseh shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. So this Shabbat is known in Jewish tradition as Shabbat Shira, the Sabbath of song. And the reason for that is that the part of the Torah that we read is known as the Song of the Sea. When the children of Israel left Egypt, this is part of the Passover story, which we've been telling the last few Shabbats. They left Egypt finally after the 10 plagues. They got out, they went, and they arrived at the Red Sea, and all of a sudden they looked in the back and they saw the Egyptians coming towards them with chariots and with horses. And they were trapped because there was nowhere to go, and the sea was, of course, right in front of them. Moses stands up, and God tells him to do so, holds out his staff, his long stick, over the waters, and I'm sure you've seen this in the great movie, The 10 Commandments, but it's in the Bible too. The waters part. The waters part, the children of Israel walk through the water. Maybe some of them were even running through, because they weren't running through the water. The water was standing up on both sides. They were going on dry ground. It was like a tunnel in between two walls of water. And once they got onto the other side, all of a sudden, the waters came down upon the Egyptians, and the children of Israel were free. The ones who had oppressed them, who had enslaved them, who had tortured them, who had abused them, they're gone. And now the children of Israel are free. It's a totally new experience. They're free on their way to the land of Israel. Now, they're going to make a lot of mistakes. It's going to take them a long time to get there. And the truth is, most of the very, very, very few of the adults who left Egypt actually made it into Israel. But their children did. And some of their grandchildren did. But most of them did not, for a lot of reasons, most of which were that they did not show faithfulness to God on different occasions. They built the golden calf. They decided at some point when they were having trouble, they wanted to go back to Egypt and all of that. But for now, we're celebrating. We'll worry about that other stuff later. They saw that their enemies are gone, they're free, and they sing out in words of praise to God, with words that some of them are part of our service every morning and every evening, called the Mi Chamocha, which says, "Who is like you, O Lord? Who is like you?" Awe-inspiring, working wonders. Okay, you're magnificent, O God, and they praise God who has just saved them. So it's known as the Song of the Sea, and next week we get to the Torah portion where we're actually going to be reading the 10 Commandments, because it doesn't take all that long after they leave the land of the land of Egypt, for them to get to Mount Sinai. All right, as a matter of fact, it takes them about 7 weeks. So we will be talking more about that next week, but this is the Song of the Sea, a very, very joyous time. And also a little bit of a reminder that we are really only about 2 months until Passover. That's it, 2 months. So we're going to start to get ready, all right? I think we still have a little bit of matzah left in our house from last year, so I'm going to have to get rid of that quickly. We get a lot of matzah because we all like matzah. I like to make matzah brai, which is kind of fried matzah. Some of you know about that. My wife likes to eat whitefish salad on matzah, and everybody's got their own thing that they do with matzah, but we love the matzah. It's good stuff. So anyhow, we could talk more about food, but what we're actually going to do now is sing our closing song, And I was just trying to think if... all right, let's keep it with the song that everybody knows. And that is Ein Keloheinu, which means there is no one like our God. Ein Keloheinu, Ein Kadoneinu, Ein Kemalkeinu, Ein Kemoshienu, Micheloheinu, Michadoneinu, Michemalkeinu, Michemoshienu, Nodel Eloheinu, Nodel Adoneinu, Nodel Malkeinu, Nodel Moshienu, Baruch Eloheinu, Baruch Adoneinu, Baruch Malkeinu, Baruch Moshienu, Atahu Eloheinu, Atahu Adoneinu, Atahu Malkeinu, Atahu Moshienu. So one of the things I always really enjoyed when visiting all of you up on the 4th floor is looking out through the window and the beautiful view you all have of the Hudson River. Now, my question, which I'm not going to know the answer to, but you'll know the answer, is whether or not the river is frozen, because the weather is pretty cold out there. So I don't know if it is or if it isn't, but certainly when we get to springtime, we know that the waters will be flowing and there'll be boats and all kinds of things going on that river. So personally, I like spring. I'm not that much of a winter person, but other people love the winter. So we have to make the most of whatever it is that we have. But on Shabbat, that's the time where we stop. We give thanks to God for blessings. Tu B'Shvat, which we celebrated yesterday, is a time that we thank God for, among other things, for trees. Trees give us shade. Trees give us fruit. Trees give us, in some cases when we're not using them for that, they even give us wood to help us build our homes or other things. So trees are a real blessing. And we give thanks to God on Shabbat. We take time to slow down and say thank you. Thank you to God. Thank you for the people. Thank you to the people who help to take care of us. And it's a time to think the big picture and to say thank you to everybody who helps to make our lives as good as they can possibly be. So, all of that being said, I'd like to wish all of you, my friends at Northern Riverview Nursing Home, a Shabbat Shalom, a peaceful Sabbath. I look forward to seeing you again in the month of February, because on Monday will be the first day of February. And for those of you who are football fans, not this Sunday, but a week from Sunday, is the Super Bowl. A very big game, and this year it's going to be between Kansas City and Tampa Bay. So it should be an excellent game, and but we'll leave that to the football people to decide. For now, I want to leave you with words of blessing that come from the Torah, from the 4th book of the Torah, specifically the book of Numbers. This is known as the priestly blessing, Birkat Kohanim. Yevarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May the Lord bless you and keep you. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichuneka. May the Lord's presence shine upon you and be gracious unto you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May the Lord's presence be lifted up unto you, and may God fill your life with the blessing of peace. And we say, Amen. Kain Yehi Ratzon, may it be God's will. So once again, Rabbi Daniel Pernick wishing you all at Northern Riverview Nursing Home a Shabbat Shalom, a happy rest of January, and a happy beginning of February. I look forward to seeing you next Shabbat. Stay safe, be happy, and I hope you feel very well and have a great week ahead. Shabbat Shalom.